Hundreds of QAnon followers gathered on the grassy knoll in Dallas in order to await the reemergence of JFK Jr. And they also believe that not only would this be the great return of JFK Jr., it would also be the great reinstatement of Donald Trump as president of the United States. And many of them did gather. And what happened? Well, a post from a wildly popular QAnon account said that after Trump is reinstated as president, he will step down so Kennedy Jr. will become president. The post also claimed that the former national security advisor, Michael Flynn, would be appointed as JFK Jr.'s vice president, making Trump the king of kings. Which, I mean, look, I don't understand. It didn't happen. It didn't happen, but they believe, and I'm sure that they'll find some excuse for why it didn't actually come to fruition. So far, there's really no explanation as to why Trump would usher in a Democrat as president, right? Okay. Also, I do want to show you a little of what the event looked like. This is captured by journalist Stephen Monticelli.
It is almost 12:29. Any minute now, the big reveal. The crowd is big, ready to go.
Also, here's a sign in support of JFK's return. So, look, there were a lot of people that Trump, Kennedy, where we go one, we go all, 2020.
But it's not 2020 anymore. Like, it already passed.
Is that real? I mean, look, it's from Reddit. I wanna.
No, it says "Let's go, Brandon" in the corner. That's obviously recent. I hope that that's an old flag that she's like, well, I'll get around to updating it someday, but you gotta use the flag. I had this printed up at Kinko's. It costs like $200. I'm gonna use it. But
we're doomed.
Guys,
there were a lot of people, there were a lot of people there.
Yeah, that was a pretty good crowd.
It was not a small group of cranks. Like, it was a giant group of people in Dallas who genuinely thought that JFK Jr. was going to reemerge. Apparently, their theory is that JFK Jr. is still alive, but the deep state is like hiding him or something.
I thought he went into hiding because of the deep state. But here is the thing, he obviously has not been around for a few decades. Notably, I was thinking, man, how old would he be? He would actually still be younger than Biden and Trump. We have some old politicians currently serving. But you guys haven't heard from him in decades and decades. Why do you want him to be president? You don't know anything about what he thinks about anything.
Look, I'm not even done with the hot goss. I got more details about the event.
Okay, let's hear the goss.
All right, so some audience members, as reported by the Daily Beast, became frustrated by their leader's refusal to peg the Kennedys' reappearance to a specific time and date, the result of an apparent effort to avoid a single moment of crushing disappointment. One Dallas resident pointed out that no parade permits had been obtained for the parade of dead celebrities that was supposed to follow on Tuesday afternoon. It's very important that you have the necessary permits if you're gonna, be resurrected from the dead.
Yeah, I love that's the moment where disbelief can no longer be suspended. Wait, you haven't filed the proper paperwork? Well, then why would Robin Williams and Dale Earnhardt Jr. come back?
But luckily, we've got a lot of great artwork regarding this event as well. Here's an artist rendition of what the parade was actually supposed to look like. And unfortunately, they didn't get what they expected. So the list of celebrities
bring it on.
Supposedly
just bring it on.
I mean, I feel like we're already there. We're already there. Okay. I remember years ago on TYT, Cenk and I were actually discussing the show, The Walking Dead, and what we would do if that actually happened in real life. I'm ridiculous, right? But still, it's fun to imagine. I just want to die immediately. I don't want to fight the zombies. I don't want to live in a prison for a little while for safety. You could go ahead, zombies, come at me. I'm gone. Quality, not quantity. of life, okay? Anyway,
yeah.
And the list of celebrities that were supposed to reappear, by the way, kept growing. So the list of returning celebrities grew long, coming to include not just the Kennedys, but also Kobe Bryant and Robin Williams, Debbie Reynolds, and race car driver Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah, look, there's been a lot of analysis about sort of psychologically why they've focused on this dead celebrity thing. Yeah, I followed some people on Twitter who were talking about that. And like, look, when you make it explicitly about Trump becoming president, again, I lose interest, especially when it's you wanting people to become president that you have no idea about what they think about any social or economic policy since the days of Carter. But the fact that they just want all of these random celebrities that tragically passed to come back, and they like have created a worldview that gives them hope that would happen. It's like, it's deeply sad. Like,
oh, John,
that you just like, yeah, no, someday Chris Farley is gonna come back and Aaliyah's gonna walk down the street, and no, that's not how it works. And it's sad that you want that. Like, I feel sad. It's terrible when Robin Williams passes and all that.
But we have religion for that.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Like, we have religion.
They need something spicier, unfortunately.
I guess so.
And up to that point, I can have a lot of sympathy for them. The fact that they organize it around QAnon, the central component of which is there's gonna be a great storm where everyone I despise gets rounded up and killed by Donald Trump. I lose a little bit of empathy for you at that point, though.
Yeah, so I just wanna end with this graphic. It's the last graphic in the story, because when we first talked about this story recently, I made a point about how it feels like there's someone just trolling QAnon supporters at this point, because it just becomes more and more outlandish. And I think there might be some evidence to that theory, because as Ben Collins points out, here's the really weird thing with this JFK Jr. meetup. Most QAnon followers take its ostensible prophet Q at his word. They share and cite Q's 8kun posts like scripture, citing things like drop, I don't know what that is, drop hashtag 1082.
It's a forum post from years ago, basically. And there's thousands of them, but they will cite them like scripture.
Oh, interesting. Okay, well, Q has explicitly told his followers that JFK Jr. is not alive. So, and then there's a screenshot of that interaction. And so obviously they're being trolled. And I don't know. Maybe it's splintering into different, groups that believe different things. But I think the takeaway here is that this could have been a fun story, but John made it very sad.
I apologize.
By pointing out the psychological issues at play, which do make me feel really bad. Like, that's awful, and I don't want anyone to feel lonely and terrible. But it is funny at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah, they just, everybody wants something that they can connect over.
Dude,
I think this is one of the worst things.
So great.
Totally get a dog. But also be ready, by the way. So in the same way that Republicans can never legitimately lose an election from now on, like, dude, if you're convincing yourself that like they thought they saw Michael Jackson in the crowd, well then get ready. When Trump finally chokes on a McRib or something, they're not gonna believe it. Millions of Americans will still think that he's alive for years.
The McRib is back.
It's back just in time. No, but seriously, you think these millions of Americans are gonna accept that Donald Trump, their God emperor, has died just because for 50+ years he's been in horrible shape and obviously is racked by the same sort of chronic illnesses that affect so many Americans? Eventually, he's an older guy. He's gonna pass, and they're not going to accept it.
And then what? What are they gonna do, exhume his body?
They're gonna pick some random person who vaguely looks like him in Cincinnati, and they're gonna follow him around the country.
Can't wait.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.